Now, moving along, China Daily, along with the Hangzhou Municipal Government and the English-Speaking Union, jointly organised the first Belt and Road Youth English-Speaking Competition last year. It established a communication platform for accomplished international youths to foster language and cultural exchanges. Stepping into its second year, the competition has attracted young contestants from over 20 countries and regions along the Belt and Road. 6 contestants managed to enter our final round of competition, which was held online just a couple of days ago. Now, unfortunately, because of the current situation, our winners cannot be here today to accept the awards. However, they have recorded special videos for us to take a look at. So let's check them out.
This competition is the perfect opportunity to demonstrate that when we take away the labels, we share more similarities than we are different. When we share the same value at heart to emphasize and connect, distance will not divide us.
If I were to choose a key word for this competition, I would say connection, because we all need to stay connected despite the thousands of barriers that separate us. The Belt and Road English Public Speaking Competition is held online this year, and even though we still had a great time, the online competition is not as exciting as the offline ones. This is a time when all of us need a sense of connection.
I was truly amazed by the speeches of the contestants, their preparedness, and their public speaking skills. The competition online was a bit unusual, but we must learn to adapt in these unfortunate times.
It was such an honor to have been selected to be part of such a prestigious competition. I enjoyed every part of it.
Mine's part, close at heart, is a subject of our life in the quiz situation. Although we should be away from each other because we love each other, but our hearts are getting closer to each other.
It was a great pleasure to be part of it. I was very excited to write my speeches and then present them to the audience. I hope one day we'll be able to see each other in real life. Good luck.
Good evening, international juries, my fellow contestants, ladies and gentlemen. Joy Mora, contestant number 5, and I'll be sharing my thoughts on the topic miles apart, close at heart. When do we feel connected? I believe that is a good place to start. I ask that question because on reading the topic at hand, which I found to be a quote, I noted that there were dozens of variations of the quote itself expressing different sentiments. Some were modified towards missing their own family members, some were fashioned towards missing a friend, and some were fashioned for friendships. But all in all, a glance showed a clear connection between people, their loved ones, and things that they care about. Now, we often get asked the question, or the question ourselves, where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years? I have personally answered that question and given prediction based off of my life and my hopes and dreams. But I can tell you that there is probably a very high percentage that nobody got this answer right 5 to 10 years ago because no one quite saw we'd be right here where we are right now, in the middle of a global pandemic. Not just one facing one region of the world, but facing the entire human race. So what has that meant for us? It has meant having to adapt to new laws and rules to keep us safe and healthy. It has meant having to leave and probably lose jobs that we have had for years. It has meant families being torn apart to keep each other safe. It has meant students being stranded in countries they're very unfamiliar with due to travel restrictions. And to some, it has meant loss. Tremendous and unexplainable loss. We get up, we wake up, we get ready for our jobs, we get ready for new situations, new challenges, new blows. And in all of that, at the core of it, we seem to be seeking out and yearning for security that can't quite be provided for by dogs or barbed wires. And in this seeking, we find ourselves forming bonds, connections. Strong, some stronger than others, but all in all connections. We start to value, to treasure, to love things, people and places. And this is so because human beings are wired to connect. But we notice that we are in quite abnormal times. We are forced to make do with the means that technology has created for us to connect, from video calls to regular phone calls, emails and letters, anything to maintain the connections. Let me give an example. Right now, we are holding a global virtual conference online. And there are thousands of us who are connected right here in this moment. And that is clear evidence of how, despite us being miles apart, we are very close at heart. Now these times have shown us that however we are, however distant we get, and however long we go without seeing our families physically, we take comfort in knowing that we still treasure them, we still value them, and that shows that they are still close at heart. But it's not just the virus keeping us away from our loved ones. It's many other things. It's things like the wars that have kept families away from each other for months on end. It's the ideological differences we have. It's the fear of being unable to restore ties we have lost. It's so many things. But we would be lying to ourselves if we said that we are okay with being alone, having zero connections, being totally disconnected. And I call that a lie because we need each other to learn, to grow, and to appreciate more things in life. Now there was a poem that was written to illustrate the need to have connections and relations.
Let these words sink into your mind and join me in exploring what this truly means to you and to all of humanity.
I'm a student myself. I just finished my graduation, and all I want to say is that this life that you're living right now, your college life, this life is your most important.
We pushed all of them aside, and we were able to help 30 schools and over 5,000 students all across the world.
From the United States. I'm specifically from a state called Arizona.
I come from Ghana in West Africa.
Hi, I'm from Cambodia. I'm from Vietnam.
Cape Verde, West Africa.
I came from Seoul, and it's a very busy city in Seoul.
I came from Indonesia.
I'm come from Singapore.
因为们都很专业，选手们都很厉害。
I am the president of UNITALKS Turkey. My name is Yağmur Bingöl.
I'm a president of UNITALKS Russia. My name is Carrie.
I am the president of UNITALKS Pakistan. My name is Hira Umut.
Hello, I'm the president of UNITALKS Bangladesh, and my name is Alma.
I'm the president of UNITALKS Kazakhstan. My name is Kent.
I am the vice president of UNITALKS Turkey. My name is Berk.
Hi everyone,
I'm Salafa Javed, the Vice President of UNI TALKS Pakistan.
Hi, this is Muntaha, the Head of Logistics and Event Management, UNI TALKS Bangladesh.
I'm a Head of Publicity of UNI TALKS Russia. My name is Ali.
I am the Head of Publicity, Social Media, Design and Technical of UNITALKS Turkey. My name is Ahmet
I'm Head
Akikaya.
of Student Affairs in UNITALKS Turkey team. My name is Devin.
Hi everyone, I'm a designer of LF Team UNITALKS. My name is Eric.
UNITALKS.
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 Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning to our international juries, outstanding speakers, lovely audience, ladies and gentlemen. Now, it is time to start our speakers of the month's event. Please welcome these speakers who come from various parts of the Silk Road countries to share their ideas on the topic. Let's vote, hear your voice. I now request Ms. Jiao Michelle Mara, the winner of the Global UNI TALKS International English Speaking Contest 2020, and the top 3 winner of the One Belt One Road International Youth English Speaking Contest 2020, to give the welcome speech.
Thank you very much. Respected guests of honor, honorable international jury, participants, audience members, ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you and welcome. My name is Morad Joy Michel, and I was this year's winner of the International English Speaking Competition. First off, I would like to express my sincerest gratitude to Professor Wallace and the entire Global UNI TALKS team for having me here today and for giving me this opportunity to share my experience as a Global UNI TALKS speaker. I would like to start off by sharing my experience as a speaker and by expressing how absolutely incredible it was to have the opportunity to be under the mentorship of Professor Wallace, Professor Diana, and the rest of the Global UNI TALKS team. I would also love to express how amazing it was to have an opportunity to interact with other incredible contestants who are so bright, creative, and skilled in their speech deliveries. I remember fondly of how we interacted with the other participants that I had the pleasure of talking to and having intricate discussions with on the different topics that we were given. The Global UNI TALKS event enables students from different backgrounds from all over the world to come together and share their thoughts and ideas with the rest of the world. We're living in quite unique times, and to have that chance to still do it online was quite the honor. It was quite incredible to have the chance to interact with so many educated people, from jurors to participants to the audience alike. We, as contestants, got to speak on some really incredible topics, discussing issues about what it means to be a global citizen. What does culture and diversity bring to this world, and what does it mean to you? And other topics such as miles apart, close at heart. And all of these things are things that have helped us to learn more about ourselves and to understand more about the world that we're in right now. It was this thing that helped us to prepare and have greater insights as we moved on with our individual lives. For those, we had a chance to create so many drafts for our speeches, both prepared and the impromptu ones. And all these things tested our abilities to think and to present our thoughts and ideas within a short span of time. Now, all this were great and quite thrilling. And the greatest of it all is the fact that we had quite professional international juries who are very critical and equally fair, but they helped us be such incredible speakers. All in all, it was quite the honor to be part of such a prestigious event. And I can assure you and tell you for a fact that this is an experience that you will hold on to for a long time, as I am currently. I am very proud and overjoyed to see so many young people coming together to utilize this opportunity that has been given to them, provided to them by the Global UNITALKS organization. And I wish all of you the very best, and I believe that you can do this. To conclude, I would like to take this opportunity to invite Professor Wallace, who is a renowned entrepreneur and an academician in his field, and he has many academic accolades. He is currently the vice president of the leading university in Asia. He has also been part of a foreign expert team in China since 2003 to date. He is the Director General of the Silk Road Association, which is a non-profit, non-political civil society organization. He is also the president of the Global Silk Road Consortium, which is responsible for the internalization and global advancement of Silk Road universities. You also know him as the founder and architect of Global UNITALKS. Now, please help me welcome Professor Wallace in this moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy. First of all, I congratulate you on behalf of the Global UNITALKS family to make your journey to be the top 3 speakers of the world under One Belt, One Road Youth International English-Speaking Contest. Congratulations. I've seen you, a long journey you did with us. You really achieved a very big milestone in your life, and we are very proud of you. And I'm sure many will follow your suit and try to become the global speaker in upcoming events in years to come. Dear contestants, speakers, international juries, ladies and gentlemen, we are very proud to see you all here. This platform, Global UNITALKS, is for the students, by the students, and of the students, and whatever you see and what's happening is all the students' power. We all as a professors, academic teams, international jury who donate their precious time and try to help this young youth who are having a lot of talent but didn't have the platform. We created this platform so that they can excel and become a public speaker and a great leader in the future. Today, the Speakers of the Month is very important event which we are holding first time this year, and we have speakers from over 10 countries. They all have a very wonderful topic. Let the world hear your voice. I think this is incredible topic, and I'm sure all of the speakers today will demonstrate and spark their ideas, share their ideas, and follow the ideas together with all of us. So without wasting time, I will request the speaker number 1 to give your speech. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Please go ahead.
Okay. Dear international juries, our guest of honor, invited guests, and the entire worldwide audience. Hi, hello, and how are you? Let the world hear your voice. Now, there's a story that is told. It's by William Shakespeare. And in the story, Julius Caesar, Brutus, a man of brutish ways, he says, there's a tide in the affairs of men, which when taken at the flood, leads on to great fortune. In this day and age, it has never been this important to let the world hear your voice. To let the world hear your voice clearly, to let the world hear your voice loudly, and to let the world hear your voice consistently. And especially today, as a young person, I'd like to specially dedicate this to all the young people and the older ones as well, because everyone is necessary in this journey. What does letting the world hear your voice look like? Does it mean that you show up sometimes? Does it mean that you show up when you feel ready? Does it mean that you show up when you think you have something to gain? What do you think? Now, there's a Swahili saying that says, Fimbo ya mbali haiui nyoka, which translates to, the stick or the rod that is far does not kill the snake. What does this tell us? Sometimes, and I'm sure you've experienced this in your life, we have friends, we have family that say, oh, I'm so sorry for that. I wish I could have been there. Or I'm so sorry, I wish I could have known, I would have done something. How could I have helped? Do not be that kind of person. This is the time to help. This is the time to lend your voice. This is the time to speak to the issues that you find important. This is the time to be an ally to issues you're yet to educate yourself into. This is the time to show up. We will be remembered as having shown up or not. And you'll agree with me when I say this, that when our friends and our family say, oh, I'm so sorry, I wish I would have been there, it's nice, it might be comforting, it might even be irritating. But at the end of the day, it doesn't help you. It doesn't solve the situation. It doesn't solve the problem, rather. So what are you waiting for? Are you waiting to say, oh, I'm sorry, I wish I could have been there? Or are you going to take the chance and stand right now? Because letting the world hear your voice means showing up when the world needs you. Now, it is not inhuman to be afraid. It is neither new, nor novel, or creative. Everyone is scared of something sometimes, but we have to show up. We have to believe that there's something greater than our fear. We have to believe that we are called to a higher purpose. Now, people will say often that I couldn't make it, it was raining. Or they'll say, you know, it was really hard and I was by myself. Or they'll say, I just didn't feel like it. Here's what I have to say about that. If it's rainy, take a coat, grab an umbrella, show up. If you're by yourself, then you do like Miss Maya Angelou said, you go as one and you stand as 10,000. And if you're scared and if your voice shakes, then let it shake, but speak the truth. Speak truth to power. Being afraid is not an excuse. It is not a thing that any of us should pride ourselves in saying. To be afraid is fine. Not to act because we're afraid is not. Now, I'm going to ask you something morbid, but stay with me, okay? What do you think your legacy will be when you die? What do you think we'll say about you? Do you think that we'll say that that you showed up, that you were present, that you are consistent? Now, this is what happens. And the Indian poet Tagore wrote that spring has passed, summer has gone, and winter has come. And the song that I meant to sing remains unsung. I have strung and unstrung my instrument. It would be such a great disaster if on your deathbed you were to say, I wish I could have done something. I wish I could have lent my voice. Pardon me. I wish I could have actively participated in the world when it needed me. But you and I, we have a privilege. And this privilege, we only have it for today. We only know about today, and we have to show up so that when the time comes, we can say that we sung our song, that we were proud in singing our song, that we showed up. And now today, I'd like to implore you, whatever it is you want to say, that which is true, that which is right, that which you know you can speak to, you need to do that today. You need to do that in the right time. You need to do it unafraid or afraid, but you need to do it. And you need to do it so that when the time comes, you can say that surely my soul is not with those cold and timid souls that neither know victory nor loss, like Teddy Roosevelt said in The Citizen. So today I'm going to ask you, will you show up? Will you show up on time? Will you show up just despite the fact that you're scared? Will you show up so you can say that you let the world hear your voice? Thank you for your time.
Thank you, speaker number one. Excellent speech. I will now request the international jury, Professor Amelia, to have a question on her topic of today.
Good evening, contestant number 1. How are you?
Good evening. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. It's lovely to see you again. You're looking very well.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Okay. I found your speech very engaging. I loved all of the quotes that you put in there. So I'm going to throw a quote back at you now. There's an old saying, okay? Children should be seen and not heard. Okay. Do you think that's relevant today?
I think it speaks to different audiences differently. And I think this is true for a lot of things. We hear things not because of what they are, but because of who we are. So I think to an audience that is closed-minded, to an audience that does not have the foresight, I think they would agree with that. I think they would say they don't know enough, or they've not seen enough, or they don't quite have it right. But I think when it's said to a sane, to a sober, to a level-headed person, I don't think it carries weight. I think what it says is that this person is not able to see the beauty that is the contribution of children. And in a lot of ways, I think that has impacted how we've grown our societies. So we have a lot of pardon me, a lot of ancestors, we have people in our families, we have people in history in our countries who we look up to. But what we're seeing is that we're not seeing young people rising up to the occasion. We're not seeing the heroes of our generation. And that is because we have been taught to be seen and not heard. So therefore, it's very counterintuitive then for young people to say, I will stand up and I will let the world hear my voice, because who has taught you that? But I think there's hope even in that situation, because more and more we're seeing young people standing up, more and more we're seeing them rising together, and we're seeing them coming together and saying, this is who we are, and this is what we have to say. And I greatly believe in the cause of young people and of children.
Fantastic answer. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Amelia. Now I will call upon Professor Quinn to give a general question to the speaker number 1.
Good morning, good afternoon, from whichever part of the world you come from. Nice hearing from you, contestant number 1, and nice seeing you again. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing okay. It's a bit cold on this end, but I'm doing well.
Nice, nice. What are some of the 4 ways or 2 ways? Let me make it 2. What are some of the 2 ways that you think the young persons in the society can use to amplify their voice to be heard?
Okay, I think that's a very interesting question, because we've been having this discussion, with my friends, people in my community. And I think one of the first ways is a concept known as artivism. So more and more we're seeing not only the quote unquote regular way of activism, but we're seeing people coming up through their art, through their music, through their poetry, through their writings. They're able to speak truth to power. They're able to pass a message. They're able to rally different groups to actually join the cause and actually champion for certain things. So I think activism, the use of these talents, these gifts towards specific agendas or specific initiatives, I think that's been very relevant for the youth today. And secondly, I think the use of social media cannot be, we cannot speak more about it if we could, because in terms of the use of social media, it's very, some would say it is unchecked, but I think that is the beauty of it. I think the liberty and the freedom for people to have opinions, and for people who, would be labeled as quote unquote nobodies in society. They're not people of means, but if they have idea, and if people believe in your idea, they're able to rally with you, they're able to be with you, they're able to stand with you. So I think social media has been such an effective tool of change and an effective way of bringing together people, And furthermore, in terms of support, especially now when the world, any part of the world that you can think of right now is in chaos due to one thing or the other. But I think the knowledge that even though we're separated by distance, that we are together in ideas, we're together in fighting for the truth, fighting for the things that are right, fighting for justice. I think that social media has been very impactful in terms of positivity, in terms of hope, in terms of encouragement, and also in terms of monies and finances for campaigns. We've also seen people coming up with different fund drives for such initiatives, and I think has been very impactful. So I'd say those are the 2 things. the use of activism and the use of social media.
Thank you. That's a very good answer. Those are good points. Those are good answers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Quinn. Now I will call upon Dr. Naushin Anjum to have a question to the speaker number 1.
Thank you, Professor Wallace, for giving me the floor. Contestant number 1. Being afraid is not an excuse. I'm really impressed with these words.
Thank you.
So, dear, you have spoken like that. Issues you find important. That means you are trying to say that let the world hear your voice means speaking up about the issues you find important, right?
Yes.
So, do you think is that somehow connected with freedom of speech? Don't you think this is one kind of freedom of speech? If yes, then how will you define what is freedom of speech to you?
Okay, thank you for that question. I think I'd start with what exactly is freedom? Because, and for me, freedom is almost an opposite to power, because power refers to the ability to do something and get away with it. But freedom means that anyone can do that particular thing. So I think I'd start at freedom. When it comes to speech, and a lot of people speak in different ways. People speak through their actions, they speak through their word, they're able to express themselves. So I would say that freedom of speech is very essential when you look at, letting the world hear your voice. And more often than not, we've seen that when we speak to power, when we speak to existing, systematic, strategic, and very institutionally entrenched ideas, then it's a much harder battle to go about. I think it can become very hard to do so. But I think that when we put names to things, when we say that what you're doing, this is the word for it, this is exactly what it is, and we break it down, we humanize those things, we're able to speak to them. And we're not only able to speak to exactly what they are, but we're able to say, how does that make us feel? And I think a lot of the times what happens is that we're alienated by our different circumstances. We're alienated by our different experiences in life. So when we speak to certain things, then we're able to see, what does the other side think? What do people go through? What are people experiencing? Because we don't experience life differently, and we shouldn't anyway. So I think freedom of speech and, letting the world hear your voice and being unafraid, I think that would greatly impact what happens, because you're able to say what you mean, you're able to learn where others are at, and you're able to find your community, your tribe, to rally together and to speak exactly to what is happening. So I think then freedom of speech is very, very important. But while as important as it is often challenged, because I think for existing powers, it's not a thing that they like. I don't think they enjoy being challenged, but that is exactly why we must remain unafraid. And even if we're afraid, we still have to exercise our right and have the freedom of speech and let the world hear our voice. Yes.
Thank you. I'm really satisfied with your answer.
Thank you.
Great, speaker number 1. Thank you, Dr. Naushin. Now we have an audience here who want to ask you a question.
All right.
Can I call Miss Nina Joyner?
Thank you. Hi, Grace.
Hello.
Hi, Grace. How do you stay fearless?
I think staying fearless is one of those things that the rent is due every single night. It is an active, consistent choice that I make every single day and at every single moment where I'm put in a position where I would like to cower away. And how I stay fearless is I stay with people who understand where I'm at. I stay with people who are like-minded, people who challenge me and who tell me, you can push further, you can go harder, you can speak more, you can write more. And I think having the right community, and I think we like to call it our tribe, finding your tribe is very essential to staying fearless and staying unafraid, because even when you feel like you're stumbling and even when you feel like things are not good, able to support you. Another way that I stay fearless is that, and I think every person feels that at some point in time of their lives, but I go back into history, I go back to the past and I look at history and I look at some of the people that I admire and I say, I don't know, I think Christians use this quite often. They say, what would Jesus do? And sometimes I fill that in and I say, what would Maya Angelou do? You know, what would Eleanor Roosevelt do? And I say, would she do this? Would she stand for this? Would she let this thing happen in her presence? And I think no. Then I say, okay, then you deserve to do better. So that maybe in a couple of years, some other child somewhere can say, what would I do? What would Grace do? And they would be challenged to do even better. So that's how I stay unafraid.
Thank you. I love that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nina Joyner, for asking question to the speaker number 1. Thank you, speaker number 1. You have been excellent. Let me call upon speaker number 2. Are you ready? Speaker number 2.
Yes, I am ready.
Please go ahead.
Hello, everyone. I'm speaker number 7, and I will be presenting my speech on the topic, Let the World Hear Your Voice. Born and raised in Hong Kong and still living there, with a couple of years of stay in the US. Am I right, Professor Wallace? Professor Quinn, may I expect to know today's weather in Kenya from you because that's where you live? And Tashruk, we've never met, but I can sense that you live somewhere in the area of Mogbazar in the bustling capital Dhaka. Now, before you think of me as a fortune teller, a detective, or a spy, let me tell you, I'm not what you think. It's not the science of investigation. It's the science of phonetics, the simple science of speech that comes out of your mouth. I want you to meet Professor Higgins, a fictional character in a movie who can detect your correct location just by hearing you speak, English. The place you were born, the place you are from, and the place you have immigrated to has an effect on your speech, more precisely, your accent. Professor Higgins, the fictional character I'm talking about, can not only detect your precise location by hearing you speak English, but also he creates a verbal class distinction, a classification where you are ranked superior or inferior based on how well your pronunciation or accent is in English. And for those who don't speak English, like the Queen's English, Professor Higgins has this verdict. For every syllable they utter, they should be taken to be hung for a cold, bloody murder of the English tongue. Professor Higgins is pretty harsh when it comes to perfection in English speaking. But you know what? There are many Professor Higgins around us who judge us based on our accent. And the fear of that judgment holds our tongue from letting the world hear our voice. You're praised for a good accent. You're mocked for a bad accent. And this fear holds us from letting the world hear our voice. But you see, a lot of people shut up every day because they have bad English. They think they have bad English. They don't have the British or American tongue. Well, how rational is it to expect someone who was born, suppose, in the Silk Road countries to speak like a native? Let's see what the numbers say. And you'll see that this discrimination against accents is quite opposite to all the discriminations that exist. There are 400 million people who were born with the British or American tongue. And then there are 2 billion, like me and like you, who have to learn English to be able to converse in a civil society. They are the majority. Here we are discriminating the majority and presenting the English of the minority as ideal. We are fitting the 2 billion whose tongues are laced with ethnicity, accent to fit into the small box of 400 million who were born with the British or American tongue. But doesn't this go against the very concept of English as the lingua franca, the common language? A lot of people, 2 billion people, we are forcing the 2 billion people whose tongues are laced with ethnicity to fit into the small box of 400 million who were born with the British or American tongue. and not fitting into the box will give you shame, sneer, mock in public. And the fear of that shame has silenced many, is silencing many till now. People might say that your English is not good enough, but the place you are from, the place you were born, and the place you have immigrated to is a part of your identity. Don't let your identity be a chain around your tongue. People might say your English is not good enough. They might say your Asian accent is way too bad, but don't let that stop you from speaking, because we have taken English as a common language so that more people can be heard and understood. So regardless of where you're from, regardless of the thickness of your native accent, don't stop speaking, because the message you have to share is valuable. So let the world hear it. Let the world hear your voice. Now I would like to end my speech with a vote of thanks to UNITALKS and Professor Wallace. I have been a part of UNITALKS for a very short period, and Bangladesh is also here for a very short period, but I have enjoyed this short span of time a lot. I have got the chance to work with people from many countries. I have seen people from different cultures, different countries. It has been a whole new learning experience for me. And I or the students here wouldn't have got any of the chances if it not were for the professors who have sacrificed their valuable time just to let the youth flourish. So I should say that I'm indebted to Professor Wallace, the international jury, and everyone who has sacrificed their time selflessly for the contestants and youth of the world. Thank you.
Thank you, speaker number 2. Thank you for your kind words. We really appreciate the talent you have and the youth around the world who deserve to be on a global platform. We are always here to help them. Now I will request Professor Amelia to have a question to speaker number 2 on her topic.
Good evening, contestant number 2. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. You look very pretty there this evening. I love the colors that you're wearing. Very nice. Okay, I thought your speech was really good, very engaging. You know, Professor Higgins from one of my favorite movies, My Fair Lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the great movie, and yes, and you're dead right. Like he did judge her, you know, by her accent, you know, that she was worthless, that she was nothing. Okay, and you referred to in your speech that people don't speak up because of their accents. They're afraid of, you know, people not listening to them. They don't have anything valuable to say. How would you encourage them to speak up?
Thank you for the question, Professor. First of all, I think that we can encourage people to speak up in their own native accent by making them proud of it. Your accent is a part of your identity. You don't have the perfect accent. We think that is perfect because you come from a particular place and you are supposed to have that native accent. Now, just because that one accent is idealized, people are not proud of their own accent. If we can make them believe that this is a part of your identity, this is what makes you you, this is what makes you unique, they will be eager to embrace their own accent, and we can have more diversity in English, which is a common language. English is now a common language, and we have to make people believe this also. Besides making them proud of their own accent, we need to make them believe that English is of the world right now. It is not of only for the British or American anymore. It is a property of the world, and so they have the right to express themselves in English. And I believe that as long as you can get your message across, as long as you can make people understand, even with your accent or with your bad English, I think you were speaking bad English perfectly.
Very good answer. Thank you. Good answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Amelia. Now I request Professor Quinn to give a general question to speaker number 2.
Good afternoon, speaker number 2.
Good afternoon, Professor.
It's very interesting how you're so passionate about the accent and originality and matters identity, and how that influenced your voice as a young person and a youth in the society. But then I want to ask you, do you think that our accents, for instance, just a follow-up with what Prof. Amelia has asked, do you think our accent as the youth impacts our voice to the society?
I would like to answer your question by saying this, that our accent was not supposed to impact, but it does because, okay, skip on. Because we have some wrong perceptions about this. People perceive some accents as superior and some as inferior. It's not supposed to happen, but it is happening. And that's why the reality is when you speak with an accent, people often do not pay you the attention that you deserve just because you come with a different accent. It is like the prejudices or discriminations that exist. So I believe that yes, it is impacted, but it is not supposed to happen. It is not supposed to happen that you are given less attention or less privilege or less opportunities because of your accent. Just the way we should not discriminate anyone basis of nationality, we should not discriminate anyone on the basis of accent as well. So I think yes, the voice of the youth is impacted sometimes because of their accent, because the perception of people is often wrong. But we have to work to change this perception and give equal honor to all the accents. Only then we can have an accent neutral platform for the youth to share their ideas, to give their voice.
Okay, nice answer. Thank you.
Thank you, speaker number 2. Thank you, Professor Quinn. Now I would like to give the floor to the audience to ask questions. Audience, anyone have a question for speaker number 2? Okay, I see here the hand raising. Give me a moment. Let me open the microphone for you. Okay, you can go ahead. Ms. Levinsky, you can ask the question now. Ms. Levinsky, are you here?
Yeah, thank you. I had to rejoin again because I think there was some changes in the settings. Thank you. That is very well done, speaker number 2. So my question is this: what happens to the native languages if we are going to all adopt English as a common language? Because you take notice that in school, children will be taught English. Any other forms of interaction will be through. Where do they get the chance to learn their native language, and what will happen to the other languages? Thank you.
Thank you. I love your question. In fact, this is quite an alarming fact. In fact, I myself went to a school where we are encouraged to speak English, and speaking in my native language sometimes made us give fine because the rule of the school was to always speak in English. So English is the common language. It opens more opportunities for us. So we have to emphasize English, but this doesn't mean that we will let our native languages die. I believe that we need to keep both running. We have to practice our native language in our homes, in literature, especially the literature. We have to embrace our native literature. And at the same time, we should have a grasp over English so that we can communicate to the world, because there is an advantage of knowing English. You can communicate to more people. If you know only your native language, you can only communicate to your native. But when you want your idea to be disseminated to the world, you need to know the common language. So I believe both are important. We have to learn our English to make our ideas have a bigger audience, And at the same time, we have to keep our native languages alive because that's diversity, that's the beauty. We want to preserve diversity and beauty. That's why native languages are also important. So I believe English should be emphasized, but in a way that it gives the chance to the native languages to stay alive. Thank you, Ms. Lewinsky.
Thank you, Lewinsky. Thank you, speaker number 2. Excellent speech and excellent Q&A. Now I take this opportunity to invite speaker number 3. Are you ready? Please go ahead, speaker number 3.
Yes, I'm ready. Dear Honorable International Jury, guest of honor, founder of Global UNITALKS and the worldwide audience, greetings. I am speaker number 3. Being best friends with my brain, we decide to take a memory lane of myself to see if I have. Another question that then nudges my mind is, what is my purpose in this life if I cannot use my voice to help those who are in dire need of it? My penchant for reading books makes me meet with revolutionaries, dignitaries, visionaries, and gladiators in the society who went through thick and thin in order to bring a change in the society. I then realized that I am not good enough to fit into the shoes of these revolutionaries. My penchant also tells me that I am not fit enough to meet the visionaries, leaders who I had forever aimed to look. Sorry, can I start again? Sorry. Dear Honorable International Jury, guest of honor, founder of Global UNITALKS and the worldwide audience, greetings. I am speaker number 3. Being best friends with my brain, I decide to take a walk with myself to see if I have ever used my voice to create an impact in the society. Another question that then nudges my mind is, what is my purpose in this life if I cannot use my voice to help those who are in dire need of it? My penchant for reading books helps me meet with visionaries, revolutionaries, and gladiators in the society who went through thick and thin to create an impact in the society. My mantra was forever that I'll never stand before a crowd and use my voice to speak what I believe in. I told myself that will only happen when pigs fly. My world turns around when I lose a person who was so dear to my life. I tell myself that you can do it. You can stand before the crowd and state what you believe in. My heart tells me, go ahead and do it. My brain tells me, just try. At the end of the day, I go ahead and deliver the speech. Although I don't say what I wanted to say. This is because I was afraid to let the people know what I wanted to say and was afraid equally of what they will think about me. What do we learn from this? The voice is a tool each and every one of us has. The only people who do not have a voice are those who are lying 6 feet under. Many voices of reasons are always shut down or do not reach the highest zenith that they're supposed to reach. Why is this so? This is because there's a certain faction of people who quiver or who are afraid to let their voices be heard. One word, be courageous. My greatest mentors always told me, sitting in the sidelines and not letting the world hearing your voice is being a failure in its entirety. The voices we have can heal damaged souls. It can cause turbulences and storms and equally stop the turbulences and storms. The voices we have can equally tap into existence, their inexistence. They say, thou shalt not speak ill of what is happening in the society unless you want your head served on a silver platter requested by Herod's daughter. Au contraire, you're told to generously lie of what is happening in the society. When we look at to create an impact in the society, there are actors such as journalists who go through thick and thin, risking their lives at even the verge of being killed in order to bring for us news that were not under our noses. Equally, from a different angle, We see the use of social media, which through different platforms, we are able to know what is happening within our precincts, the things that are not equally in our precincts, and we are able to know what is happening in the society. We are very proud to tell you that this day, I implore you to use your voice in order to create that change in the society. The waves of life have changed. It is neither a black and white conversation, neither is it a right and wrong conversation. It is using your voice and stating what you believe in, even if it will cause a quiver in the society, even if it will cause pressure in the society. After all, human beings work best under pressure. One of my greatest examples of people who used their voices was Wole Soyinka. Wole Soyinka was a great journalist and a novelist who went out of his way to use his voice to tell the world what was happening in Nigeria. He was sentenced to exile, but that did not stop him. He still used tissue papers, which is quite funny enough, to tell the world what was still happening, even while in exile. He knew he was a dead man, but that did not stop him. Best example that we have is Halima Bashir, told us of a story of a resilient people. That's the tale of the war of Darfur. We've known that there was indeed a war happening in Sudan. She went out of her way to tell us what was happening. She was a dead lady, she knew that, but that never stopped her. In conclusion, what do we learn from my story, my different examples, and my different perspective? Is that you will be a failure in the society if you don't tell the world what you believe in. Equally, you cannot live a life of normal existence if you cannot help yourself and those others who are in dire need of your voice. In conclusion, don't be your voice. To my vote of Global UNITALKS, I equally want to thank the creative team of UNITALKS, the honorable international jury, which took its time to come and listen to our speeches. Above all, I want to thank the audience from different parts of the world who have come to support their different contestants. To my fellow contestants, it has been a wonderful experience learning different things from you. I hope to learn more in future. Thank you.
Thank you, speaker number 3. Now I will request Professor Amelia to give you a question on your prepared topic. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Thank you.
Good evening, contestant number 3. How are you this evening?
I'm fine, and how are you?
I'm great, thank you. That was a speech very full of passion, I can tell you that. Very, very good. Okay, now, earlier on in your speech, you said that, we don't hear from people anymore because they are 6 feet under, we can't hear their voices. Yes. If you were to leave one saying behind,
yes,
for future generations,
yes,
what would it be?
My say will be that you can't keep quiet while injustices are happening in the society. Go out there and use your voice. Don't just sit in the sidelines while things that are in the society are very wrong.
Thank you.
Thank you, speaker number 3 and Professor Amelia. Now I will request Professor Quinn to give a general question to speaker number 3.
Thank you, Prof. Wallace. Good evening, speaker number 3.
Good evening.
Nice. That was a very strong speech that you've made right there. But I want to ask you, how have you used your voice during this pandemic to reach out to the society?
Thank you for your question. During this pandemic, the way I've used my voice is through different platforms of social media. I'm able to go out and speak of what is happening within our precinct, that is our area, and things that are happening out there that I know of and contributing. Equally, I've used my voice to help children in my society, in my area. I tell them of things that they should know in future and how they can create an impact in the society.
So kindly give me an example of one of these things that you tell them that they should know in future.
Okay, I tell them that they're supposed just not to be quiet, that is one. They're supposed to go out there, because you can't just be sitting in your cocoon, not doing anything, while people are out there building the society, doing different things in order to create the impact that this society needs. I equally tell them that knowledge is power. You're supposed to read different books. You're supposed to watch news. You're supposed to go out there and learn from different things in order to know what is happening in the society, because the only way you can contribute to a meaningful conversation is through having knowledge.
Nice one, thank you.
Thank you, Professor Queen. And speaker number 3. Now I would request Dr. Noshin to give a question to speaker number 3.
To speaker number 3, it was a lovely performance.
Thank
you. Dear, in the beginning of your speech, you mentioned that at the end of the day, you leave behind your voice, thinking that what your near or dear one are going to think about that. So I'm giving you a situation. Suppose you are in a situation where you have to raise your voice. You are seeing an injustice is going around you. But if you do so, any of your near or dear one is going to leave you behind. Then how we will handle this situation? What will be your role on that?
Kindly pardon, you are breaking. Kindly pardon the question.
Did you get my question?
I couldn't hear you.
Hello, did you hear my question? Okay. At the beginning of your speech, you mentioned that at the end of the day, you leave behind your voice thinking that what your near and dear one gonna think about this. So I'm giving you a scenario where you are seeing an injustice around you. And if you raise your voice, then you might have lost any of your near and dear friends. So how you are going to handle that situation?
Thank you for your question. The way I'll handle that situation is that I'll decide to sacrifice myself instead of one of my family members or one of my friends, because at the end of the day, I think I'm the one who has put them in that situation. So the best thing that I can do is just use my voice and instead of sacrificing either my family members or whims that I wanted to use my voice to sacrifice myself instead of my family members.
Thank you, contestant number 2.
Thank you.
Professor Wallace, am I audible?
Yes, no problem. You're audible. Thank you, Dr. Noshin. Thank you, speaker number 3. Now we have a Q&A from audience. Let me see, somebody's raising hand. Give me a moment. Okay. Mr. Ray Bernard. Yes. You like to ask question, right? Are you ready? Mr. Ray Bernard, can you hear me? Yes.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
I would like to ask a question to speaker number 3. Yes, I want to know how she can use the... Yes, I wanted to know how speaker number 3 can use her voice in conflict resolutions and peace mediations, because I know there are several places in the world where we have conflicts and we need people who head in conflict resolutions.
Speaker number 3.
Yes, thank you for your question. I'll use my voice through conflict resolution, in that through conflict resolution is sitting down two parties and helping them to solve the disagreement between them. So the only way that I can use my voice is through the different alternative dispute resolution methods that you have, such as negotiation or arbitration, so that I can help these two parties come into an idiom. So this is the only way that these parties can able to resolve the dispute that is between them. Equally, I can tell these parties that it is not the end of the day. It's not, you two parties can't come out of here when you're not speaking to yourself. So I'll tell them that I'll use my voice and tell them that you sit down, and I make sure that after the end of the dispute resolution, they're able to talk to themselves and they're able to get out there and become friends again. Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you, speaker number 3. Now I will request speaker number 4. Are you ready? Speaker number 4, are you ready for your speech?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking good question.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Hello and good evening to international honorable judges, members of Global UNITALKS and audience. Today, I will be talking about a topic that interests me sincerely, which is actually the main reason of you to see me here. Let the world hear your voice. I have participated in Global UNITALKS family to let every single person to hear my story. But also, I have always asked myself, why should I do this? Why should all of us spread our ideas? Now, I invite you to find the answers with me by focusing on main problems. One of the biggest problems that we have right now is poverty. 800 million of people do not have access to enough food and water to be healthy. And these people also do not have enough education opportunities, which is a pity because UN predicted that if all students had even basic reading skills, the world poverty could be reduced by more than 10%. And illiteracy is an asymmetrical problem, which affects more women than men. As a result, women have considerably fewer opportunities, which provide foundation for gender equality. If we could change just one step, we would help a lot of people. But to manage to do it, we have to reach millions, which is possible by letting people know what we want and think. And these problems I talked about are not the only ones that we have right now. Now, I want to talk about some social problems that all of us is familiar with. Nowadays, we are facing so many cruel judgments just because of who we are. People judge the way we talk and look, or hobbies, or sexual orientation, or religion, or race. Today, we live in a world where all of us has equal rights, but just in paper. As you can see in the starting point of the Black Lives Matter movement. Because no one would like to be ignored, to be insulted, or to be killed just because of the things that we can change and have since from our birth. But do not let these uncivilized movements overwhelm you. And let me tell you a story. In 1960s, a Black woman called Rosa Parks refused to give her own seat to a white woman who was trying to use her white superiority. Rosa Parks got arrested just because of keeping her own seat. After this injustice was heard by so many people, a man called Martin Luther King became the voice of all Black people for equality and started a boycott in which Black people wouldn't be riding city buses for a whole year. After all these movements, finally the government agreed to make some law changes. That was the beginning of a struggle that has been coming along till today. What I'm trying to tell you is that you should be aware of the importance of your voice and know that every time you use it for yourself and for the people who needs it, you will be a part of a crucial change. Because of the oppression, you might feel scared and choose to stay silent. But let me tell you something. Your silence is not going to fix anything, and maybe it will encourage them to be more oppressive. So, how can we spread our ideas? I think the biggest privilege that we have right now is social media. So many years ago, people had to be face to face to express themselves. But now, thanks to social media, we can interact not just with a bunch of people, but with millions of people just from our home. Unbelievable, right? What we are living in is a century of idea diffusion. People who can spread their ideas, regardless of what those ideas are, win. So now, I invite you to use your platform for good, because you are able to inspire and to be inspired by so many people. You might ask yourself, why you should be the one who stands out and use their voices? Just because you could grant a better life to next generations? Come on, no, not possible. Today, I want you to be selfish, because it is your first and only chance to live. So make your dreams come true and use your voice as much as you can. We made a great job till today, but we still have a long way to go. So bring your light and potential to the world and let the world hear your voice. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to thank all Global UNITALKS family to having me here. First of all, Professor Wallace, you always have been so kind to us. You help us a lot. Your ideas were so important for us, and I really learned so much from you. And Professor Diana, you helped us. You are the best mentor I have ever had. You in English, and I don't know, you answered all of our questions. You were so helpful. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much to the international judges. Your ideas improved us a lot. And thank you to audience for giving us our time and listening to us without judgments and help us to improve ourselves. And I would like to thank contestants too, because I listened all of your speech, and your ideas were so important for me, and I learned a lot from you. So thank you.
Thank you, speaker number 4. You are welcome. We really appreciate what you said. And I will request now Professor Amelia to give you a general question on your speech.
Good evening, contestant number 4. How are you today?
Good evening. I'm fine, a little bit excited.
That's good. It's lovely to see you again. You're looking very well.
Thank you so much, sir.
I loved your speech. Absolutely loved it. You started off extremely well. You're confident, you're factual, you're relevant. And I just felt that your speech got better and better, and you just had me hooked and hooked and hooked. I'd like to just bring up something when you were talking about Rosa Parks and how Dr. Martin Luther King became, the leader of the boycott on this. Could I ask, what are your views on protesting as a way to get your voice heard?
As a person to get my voice heard?
Yeah, what are your views on protesting? Obviously, like, you know, there was a boycott that Martin Luther King started because of the Rosa Parks issue on the bus. So I'd like to know, what are your views on protesting, you know, to get your voice heard?
Okay. First of all, I think all of us have to be able to make protests, but the main reason of so many people are scared of protest is that a lot of people, I think, believe that their voice doesn't matter and it will not change something. And that's why actually I told you about Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King. Just I wanted to let people know that their voice can change stuff. Their voice can be so important for the one who needs them. That's why I talked about Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King as an example to all of us. Because if you can't stand up for yourself, there's a lot of people who are struggling with the same or familiar problems as you are going through with. So first of all, stand up for yourself, and then the people who have problems familiar with or to be treated so much better. I think that's why we protest, to get what we deserve as human beings.
Thank you,
Thank you so much for your question.
Good answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Amelia. Thank you, speaker number 4. Now I'll request Professor Quinn to give you a general question. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready, Prof. Wallace. Thank you for the opportunity. Contestant number 3, how are you this evening?
I am
How are
fine,
you,
sir. What
contestant
about you?
number 3? I'm good. I'm just wondering, do you think that racism and discrimination are factors that can hinder the youth from being heard? And what can they do about it?
Okay, I think there's a phrase that all of us is probably agree with. We have to, maybe we can change the people who are, 70 years old if they are racist or they do not respect people, because they already lived their life and they had some solid ideas in their heads. But as today's youth, I think best we can do is, since we don't have or very, very solid ideas, we can interact with each other and educate each other. It can be through the school clubs, some associations, for example, like Global UNITALKS Family, or social media, because we can interact with millions of people. And so we have to educate ourselves. And one of the most important things for me is that when we see an injustice, we have to say, no, stop, you can't do that. I will not let you do this to another person. You have to respect. You can do it when I'm with you. I can accept it. I think it is so important to standing up, and we have to educate also our sisters, brothers, like next generations. I think that's what we can do more effectively. Thank you for your question.
Very good answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Quinn, and thank you, speaker number 4. Now I'll request Dr. Naushin to give you a question.
Thank you, contestant number 4. You have spoken up regarding so many issues like poverty. Very nice. But I have a question for you. These days, social media has become the biggest platform for raising your voice, right? So, but sometimes we are being misguided. We are being biased by the news that is transferred by the social media. So how can you prevent this? What is your point of view regarding this?
Actually, I couldn't understand very well. Can you repeat that, please?
Am I audible properly?
Yes, you're
yeah. I'm asking you that this social media has become the biggest platform for raising your voice. But sometimes we are being misguided by some unauthentic news or unauthentic protest, right? So how can we prevent that being biased from all these things?
Okay, good. I think, thank you for your question, first of all. I think that was a very good question because the main point in using social media, the most important thing I believe is that you cannot believe everything you see on social media because you cannot know if everybody says the truth. And, people have some ideas. Some of them, support group A and some of them support group B. And so they are using their platform to support the groups that they support. So the first thing you need to do when you see something on social media is to look at the other accounts. We have internet, you can search it on Google, you can ask your friends who knows about it, you can read books about it, because today we have a lot of resources for information. All we need to do is just using everything we have to find the truth about events and ideas. I think that's what we can. Thanks.
Thank you, speaker number 4. Thank you, Dr. Naushin. I think now there is an audience. There are many people raising hand. Let me check out. There are 3 people who want to ask questions to you. Let me see who's coming up quickly. Mr. Irkhan, are you there? Mr. Ali Turan, Lucy Mutoni. Okay, are you ready with the question to the contestant and speaker 4?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, please go ahead.
Hello, speaker number 4. Glad to meet you again. Hello. I was a contestant in a global UNITALKS public speaking, and I think you're a contestant as well. So my question is, you had talked about poverty and how it has affected the world when it comes to percentage. So my question is, what actions have you taken in your area, specifically your country, and a patriotic citizen to eradicate poverty, and how have you used your voice? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for your question. I can answer this question, sir, but in the precedent event, I've been asked the same question. So do you want me to answer, or because it's the same question as the precedent event, but I can answer it if you want me to.
You can.
Okay. I talked about it. I think, first of all, there's some cultural stuff that impressed me a lot. For example, in our religion, we always tend to help people who don't have the same opportunities as us. In my religion, we have a tradition that, we use food help to the one who don't have. And last year, we sent our food help to the one in Africa, to the children who hadn't the same opportunities as us. That was the first thing we've done. And in my daily life, when I see people on streets who needs my help, I'm trying to help. Or when, especially my father is so sensitive about these topics. When we go to, have a dinner in a restaurant and he sees a homeless man in the street, he just calls him and say, come on, and let's have a meal together, or you can have in the other table if you want to. I think we always help people if we want to. We can help people in the streets. We can help people that we saw on social media platforms, as we can interact with them. So there's a lot of way to do, and I choose to do everything I can for people. I'm just looking for people who needs help, and if I see them, I'm trying to help with what can I do. That's what I do. And I think that's what all of us should do.
Thank you, speaker number 4. There's one gentleman, he's been raising hand from the beginning of your speech. He has a bad internet, he just sent a message. So I want you to give him an answer for his question. His question is, what motivates you to do what you do?
Okay. The first thing motivates me is my dreams, because I have a lot of dreams for myself and for other people. For example, I want to be a person who improve herself a lot. And to manage to do this, I've been through a lot. When I was 13, I left my city to going to my dream high school. And there I was so alone. I had not my family with me or any friends, new people, new experiences. In the first, I wanted to, sing, debate, do all the stuff that other people want to do. But I was so scared. I was scared that people would judge me just because of my ideas. I was so shy because of, singing, because of I couldn't sing properly, the stuff like that. And I choose to stay silent. I always stay silent. And at some point, I realized that I felt like I wasted my life. As I said in my speech, it's my only chance to make my dreams come true. And I always had a purpose when I started something. So I said, okay, I might be scared. It's normal, but it can't, make me scared of what I want to do. And I started to use my voice. I said, I want this, and I don't want to do this. These are my, rules in my life. So I will manage what I want to do. And then I started to sing. I started to debate. I started to talk in public. And I think it worked out. As you can see, I am here talking to you. And yeah, that's what motivates me, my dreams. Because without them, I feel depressed. I feel like I'm losing my self-estimate when I don't think that, when I don't do the things that I want to do. So I don't want to waste my time just because of the people that I will not have when I'm 70 in my life. So make your dreams come true. It really motivates us. Thank you so much for your question.
Very good answer, speaker number 4. I think Mr. James must be very satisfied with your answer. Let me call upon the next speaker, number 5. Are you ready? I think the speaker number 5 has some issue on the technical. Can I go to speaker number 6? Speaker number 6, are you ready?
Yes, am I visible?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. Dear honorable international juries, guest of honor, founder of Global UNITALKS, Professor Wallace, and worldwide audience. Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. You see, today, I am going to present the solution of something that we've been looking for 1,000 years. Maybe probably from the very beginning of our existence in this world. And that is how to become happy. Well, let me give you the secret portion of how you can achieve this happiness. Are you ready for it? Well, I know you are. I know that. So without further any delay and making it, let me present it to you. Make billions of dollars, date a supermodel, become very famous and successful, and people will love you for who you are and will always want to be around you. That is how you are going to be happy forever after. That's it. But do you really think that this is the solution? Do you really think that this is how you will become happy? I'm really sorry for the inconvenience. So do you really think that this is how you can become happy? But no, I don't think so. So I want you to hear my voice. I want the entire world to hear my voice because that's what I've been told. That's what you've been told. That become successful, make a lot of money, and people will love you for who you are and you'll be happy. But I have never, ever found that in such a manner. You see, back in the days when I was a child and when IMAX used to have a big belly, I meant fat. And those days, I had something called an MP3 player. I had just a gigabyte of storage and I could store some songs. One day, I went out to play with my friend and he showed me MP4. And in that, it supported watching videos. You can store a lot of videos there, watch your favorite songs and all that. You can watch games and everything. But I wanted that. I gave my parents a hard time to buy me an MP4. But then I wanted the next big thing, the PlayStation Pro, and the demand never ended. You see, we are always looking for the next big thing. We are always looking for, and we always want what others have. We're always, okay, I love his gold Rolex. I love his Mercedes car. I love what others have. We always want to become a next big person. We always want to become somebody else. And in the process, we lose ourselves. Maybe one day you lie down in your bed and realize that, is this really who I wanted to be? Is this really what I wanted to be and what I have become? That is a very big question. So, what if we can live an entire life, learn how to become happy, and then implement it in our regular life? But that isn't possible. So what if we can learn from it? There is something I would like to share, Harvard research that has been conducted for 75 years. They've been looking for teenagers back in the days who are mostly in the time of Second World War, and most are like 90 years plus these days. So they've been asking them regular basis questions and about their life and what is keeping them happy. And do you really know that what are the results? These are, good relationships. Good relationships keep us happier and healthier, period. So my request to you would be, why don't we stop become active on social or like on online, and we start becoming active social in offline? Maybe reach out to that particular person, your relative that you haven't heard from for years. Give them a call, say hello, how are you? And realize that how that feels. How do you feel inside that you've been reaching out to a person, you're saying hello to somebody that you don't talk to. You may have 3,000, 4,000 friends on Facebook, but they may not even know you. Why don't we focus on the real relationships rather than trying to become someone else? You see, sometimes in the midnight, I go to my balcony. I lie down and fill my lungs with fresh air. I look at the sky full of stars, and there's a big smile on my face. I find my happiness in the big full of stars. Thank you very much. That would be all from me. And I would like to end my speech expressing my gratitude to Global UNI Talks for creating such an amazing platform where I can express myself and I can tell the world what I have to say. That would be all from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, speaker number 6. You're welcome. Now I will request Mr. Amelia to give you a question on your topic.
Good evening, contestant number 6. How are you?
Good evening. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you very much. Okay, you talked a lot in your speech about being happy, and
yes,
I'm getting you always looking for the next big fix, the next big fad. All right. But I want to know, please, the topic, like, let the world hear your voice. What does it mean to you to have a voice? And how would you get it across to people?
Well, to me, having a voice means I can express myself, what I really feel from inside. You see, having a voice enables you to express what is inside you. You see, if I feel like a lot of people are sad, then a voice would help me a voice will enable me to help them and maybe tell a word or two on getting out of that sadness. How can I spread happiness? I can spread happiness by expressing myself, expressing the positivity, and use that voice. So I believe the voice will help me to spread happiness, to give them a solution from my end if I have it. So that is how that voice will help me out to speak to the world.
Thank you, contestant number 6. You
My
look very
pleasure.
smart as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the compliments.
Thank you, Professor Amelia, and thank you, speaker number 6. Now I will request Professor Queen to give you a question.
Thank you. Contestant number 6, speaker number 6. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
You're truly looking happy. I must acknowledge that.
Thank you very much.
The question here is, do you think now, I'm giving you a very general, simple question.
Yes.
Do you think there's a correlation or there's a relationship between happiness and being heard?
And being? I'm sorry?
Being heard, yes.
Oh, being heard. All
yes.
Right. Can I have a moment? Like, I would like to think.
As you think, so that if you are sad, nobody will ever get to hear you. And do you think all the youth are happy?
Okay, so is it something like that? If I am sad, then nobody will hear me? No. By that, you know what I mean? To me, what I've understood so far, that is, by using that voice, I can spread the happiness. Because the voice enables me to reach all the people around, to reach everybody in the world, if I have such a voice, and then spread the positivity, spread the happiness that is inside me. Because that is the purpose, spreading the happiness using the voice. I guess I would like to relate this thing in this way.
A lot of times, just an additional part of it, a lot of times,
Yes.
the messages you'd want to pass across may not be really good news. Do you still fake happiness until you pass the voice, until you pass the message?
Do I? I'm sorry, I apologize, I didn't get that.
I'm saying not all messages that you would want as a youth to pass to the global space are, not all messages are always good news, right?
Yes.
They are good news and they
sometimes
are
bad.
Yeah. So how do you relate? What is then the relationship between happiness and the message that you want to pass? Will you have to be happy always to pass the message or not?
No. I don't have to be happy if it is a bad news. But you know, if I want to give a bad news to somebody, why don't I come up with such an approach that I can also tell him that what you can learn from it? Because you know, bringing out the positivity out of a bad thing is the hard thing to do. Everybody can find out the positivity from a good thing. Good things are positive, but finding out the positive thing from a negative aspect and also learning from it is the big message. So I think I will help him and I will tell him to find out what he can learn from it and use it in his life to maybe never face it or maybe avoid happening to such issues.
Okay, thank you, contestant, speaker number 6.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Professor Queen. Speaker number 6, good answers. Now I'll request Dr. Naughton to give your question. Thank you.
Contestant number 6, how are you today?
I'm very well today, ma'am. Thank you very much. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine too. Well, today you have explained today's topic in an exceptional way. It was an excellent performance. So my question to you is that, what makes you more happy? Raising your voice for yourself or raising your voice for others?
And why?
Yes. I think, my pleasure, yes. I think, and what I believe, that raising a voice for myself is good thing. I can express, I can explain myself, but that something very superior and something that is more significant is if I can raise my voice for others who are not able to raise theirs. If I have a voice that I can raise, if I have a voice, then it is my responsibility to represent those people who cannot raise their voice, who cannot express themselves. Then it is a duty for me to help them and become a representative of them to express their voice.
Thank you. Good one.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, speaker number 6, Dr. Naushin. Now I will request audience to ask questions. And I think there was several people raising hand. Please go ahead and ask the question, please. The audience, I cannot read your name. Can you open your microphone or a camera to talk, please? Okay, I got one question here written on the chat box. When are you most fully yourself? When are you most fully yourself?
All right. So when I am most fully myself, to express my nature and explain it, I am more of an extrovert person. I like to, as the motto shares of UNITALKS, global UNITALKS, it kind of like matches my personal ideology. I love to speak ideas, spread ideas, and also follow them. You see, I am the most happy and most myself when I can express my thoughts. What I believe, what I think, it might be different from any other person because that's what makes me unique. But if I can express myself and express that unique point of view, then I am happy. Then I am totally myself and I feel absolutely fulfilled. Thank you very much.
Thank you, speaker number 6. Excellent answers. You have done a great job. Now I'll request speaker number 7. Are you ready?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Sorry. Hello, everyone. I'm speaker number 7. I come from Xi'an, which is a city located on Silk Road with a long history. Today, I'm going to let you who come from all over the world hear our voice from few aspects through my own experience of studying and working. I pursued my master's degree in England, and I have to say that it is a fantastic experience, a fantastic period of time, which brought me a great number of unforgettable memories in terms of study and life. The first thing comes to my mind is food. As the saying goes, bread is the stuff of life. What and how to cook and eat has become a kind of culture thing and gone deep into our lives. It can be easily seen from the kitchens in your dormitory, which are always occupied by Asian students. There are a lot of things that can be the reason to cook and eat for us besides hunger. When we are happy, we eat for celebration. When we are sad, we eat for comfort and release. The core of this eating thing for us is eating together. We're glad to invite many foreign friends to enjoy this process together. It can not only let your friends who come from various countries know how to prepare our food and what does it taste during the meals, but also show different manners, explore interesting customs around the world. Sharing, exchanging, and learning is a crucial part of our culture, which the world should see it. In the second part, I want to talk about assignments. We usually form groups with classmates who come from our country and foreign countries to complete the teamwork. It is understandable and actually very excellent that we are able to contribute various ideas from every perspective due to our different backgrounds with respect to culture, economy, education, and so on to our common work. I think it is also a good opportunity to express ourselves and let others hear the voice of our cooperation. Moreover, there are many other chances to let the world hear the voice, show our attitude, express our ideas. For example, when we go traveling outside of our country, when we study or work in an international company or school, our behaviors and words are all the best brands that represent our country. I am a faculty member in a university, as the world is connecting tightly and exerting more impact on each other. Our school attaches more importance on international affairs related to students and teachers. There are an increasing number of programs that we are trying to build and contact with international organizations from different parts of the world to help our students and teachers expand their horizon, master the most updated knowledge and skills, as well as hear others' voice and let others hear your voice. We speak out to the world and trying to make the world become better with the help of the power from the world. Thanks for giving me this opportunity from Global UNITALKS team, and thanks for the juries. Thank you.
I will request now Professor Quinn to have a general question to speaker number 7. Thank you.
Thank you so much, speaker number 7. I think you're a very cautious speaker, which is a good thing. I wanted to ask you a simple question. If you were the youth president in your country, okay, what would you do to enhance the voices of the youth in your country?
Enhance my voice in my country.
How would you help the youth in your country to speak up if you are the Minister of Education, for instance?
For instance, I will let more students join such program like UNITALKS, and they can express their ideas. We have a lot of platforms, social medias. And just like what I'm doing right now is like, it's all my ideas about let the world hear my voice. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, speaker number 7. Now I'll request Dr. Naushin to give you a question. Thank you.
Thank you, contestant number 7. It was a lovely performance. So my question to you is, dear, these days we are having so many issues in the world, like women empowerment, child labor, and now these days we are having pandemic COVID-19. So if you are given opportunity to speak up regarding any issue in any international parliaments, in which issue you will speak up? Women empowerment, child labor, or pandemic COVID-19? Which one will you choose?
Sorry, the bad connection.
Okay.
I didn't get your question.
Okay. You have an option to speak up in an international parliament. I'm giving you 3 topics: women empowerment, child labor, pandemic COVID-19. In which issue you will speak up?
Maybe about the pandemic, the COVID-19.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you for your answer.
Thank you, speaker number 7. Now we have an audience question. There are a few questions here. I pick one of them. What and who inspired you and why?
Who inspired me and why?
Yes.
I mean, any specific thing or just generally?
Generally, who inspires you and why?
There are a lot of people inspired me. I mean, for my different steps, like when I was a kid, when I went to school, university, and even now, there are many people and things, dreams inspires me.
The most person who inspired you? Who inspired you the most? I think that's a question.
Who inspired me most? Okay, let's say my dad, my father. My father is also a teacher. He is an English teacher. So maybe I get something from him, and which promoted me to become a teacher myself. Yeah.
Thank you. Great answer. Thank you, speaker number 7. Thank you so much for being here. Let me call upon speaker number 8. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Please go ahead.
Thank you. Dear Honorable Architects of UNI TALKS Global, Professor Wallace, Honorable Guest of Honor, Honorable International Juries, creative team of UNI TALKS, country's president of UNI TALKS, and worldwide audience, greetings. I'm contestant number 8, and I shall share my voice. Let the world hear your voice. The bell is ringing, and the day has finally come to an end. The kids are rushing out of a celebration. It's 4 p.m. and everyone has an agenda, something to do, a place to go, or a crush to confess their feelings to. You know, the typical primary school things for kids. But this is Tanzania. There's more to see, a beautiful sky filled with stars, and a moon that shines bright every day. Nature is in abundance and not polluted, so I joined a friend on an adventure. We're going to view the universe under the lens of a telescope and search for alien life, or if we failed, at least observe the moon. That's a brief introduction to the unfolding part of my life. The setting happened about 13 years ago, before I was mature enough to understand the importance of anything in life. But there I was, a young boy with a telescope talking about Neil Armstrong and space. It wasn't helped by the fact that at that time, Tanzania's space industry was simply just a shell of its former glory. There was no point discussing on the aerospace industry because it just didn't exist. But there was a drive in me to work in this industry, and I wanted to make history for my country, for my family, for my little sister, and I wanted to help pioneer change. Fast forward 8 years later, I'm pursuing a Bachelor's of Science in Mechanical Engineering, and about a year ago, I started a Master's of Science in Aerospace Engineering. Furthermore, I'm anticipating to pursue a PhD in less than 2 years. And over the years, I've been fortunate enough to receive multiple accolades, including an outstanding scholarship as an outstanding international student offered by the Chinese government. Therefore, what this means is I'm inching closer to achieving my goal of being an inspiration to anyone who wants to achieve their goals, irrespective of their background, ethnicity, gender, or religion. I'm not here to share this story as a way to boast about my success, but only to help give you an idea of how to move forth towards your goals. You never realize your progress until you look back and see the steps you've taken, the oceans you've crossed, the mountains you've climbed, and most importantly, the hands that have helped you to get where you are. I've lost so many times in my life. I've failed in my academics more than once, but I just never gave up. Your success isn't a measure of how good you are at dodging failures, but rather how good you are at rising from the ground, being a phoenix. Yes, you've probably heard this one before. Rising from the ashes like a phoenix. But the question is, do you believe it? Because I do. And for that reason, I want to give you an idea of a concoction I came up over the years through trial and error. It's a 4-step thing. Breathe, relax, strategize, and execute. Breathe. You only need to breathe to get oxygen in your system, because when you're anxious or in panic, you want things straight. It ain't easy. I know, because I've been there. And for this reason, I tell you, being calm and staying collected is always the best way out. Relax. To succeed, we need you at your best. So take your time to summon that superpower, the vibe, the energy, the universe, or whatever you may want to call it. You'll need it to get back up and shoot for the stars when the moment is just right. Kangaroos jump higher and farther because they have a mechanism that alternates between storing energy and releasing as they move. Therefore, be the kangaroo of your life. Acquire and store that energy before you release it. Strategize. Think of success as a prey, and you are the predator. You want to catch it, so learn from the king of the jungle, the lion. It stalks its prey, observing the environment, waiting for the right moment to attack. That's when you release the energy, and it wins the hunt. You need to use your wits in selecting your next options to get you where you want to be. Execute. Once your mindset is settled, relaxed, focus fixed, and your strategies are assembled, then execute them. Trust yourself and trust God. You're in control of everything in your hands. Focus on that. But for everything else you cannot control, let him deal with it. Focus on the things you can control, and that's it. I hope you're getting that I'm a very optimistic person, and that's right, because at the end of the day, you need to live a happy life. The late King T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman, the Black Panther himself, once said, "The struggles along the way are only meant to prepare you for your purpose." And I agree with him. To you, I have this to say. Your mind is your only limiter. The only thing can either break or make you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, speaker number 8. Excellent speech. Let me request Professor Amelia to give you a question. Thank you.
Good evening, contestant number 8. How are you this evening?
I'm doing quite great. Thank you. And how about you?
I'm very good, thank you. Your speech was really good. It was very well presented as well. It was very eloquent.
Thank you.
Could you please give me some examples on how best to get your voice heard?
The best thing to do, I would say, first is to understand what you're trying to achieve at the end of the day. Being able to get your voice heard can range from implanting an idea into people. It could be to push for change. It could be to motivate someone to do something. So first thing is that it depends with what you want to achieve at the end of the day. Next to that will be, I would say, who you're talking to and how you want to address them in that particular sense. So once you have all this figured out, then the next thing will be to just execute, talk if that's the way you do it, write a piece of music if that's the way you present your ideas, draw if that's what you do. All in all, it has to be with what you want to do and what are your strengths. So rely on your strength, trying to share your ideas and speaking out.
Great answer.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Amelia. Thank you, speaker number 8. Now request Professor Quinn your question. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Wallace, and thank you, speaker number Is it number 8? Number 8, yes.
Number 8.
Lucky number.
Lucky number. Hopefully you go with this question properly well. Now, you sound truly optimistic, speaker number 8, and that is very visible from the way you are, you were presenting your speech. But now I wanted to ask a very simple general question, and this is in regards to the activities that probably you are carrying out now in your community. What are some of those activities, and how do these activities inspire the youth in your neighborhood or in your community around this pandemic period?
Okay. Thank you very much. There's just so much to draw from, but I would like to draw from what I'm doing right now. We've all been through a very tough time. Throughout this time, the whole of 2020, there've been challenging moments where some of us probably have felt like the world is ending, which isn't, but yeah. So I would say one of the things that I rely on myself is I'm a very charming person. I have a very charming personality, not to boast, but I would say the biggest thing that I've tried my best to do is trying to put a smile with everyone that I met. And most of the time I try to meet most youth. So I try to make sure that whenever I have an opportunity to engage in a conversation, to engage a multitude of people, I've been, I would say, an ambassador of smiles and happiness, because at the end of the day, that's what keeps us moving. If we have a hope, we see there's light, we feel the warmth. I feel like that's what moves us forward. So generally, that's what I've tried to do to youths throughout this time. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a good answer. Thank you, speaker number 8.
I don't think he's here, but if I may proceed.
Well, contestant number 8.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, hello. Glad to see you as an optimistic person.
Thank you.
So my question to you is that as an overseas student, how will you raise your voice to represent your country?
Thank you very much. I would say as an overseas student, representing my country would come from showing what is a good side of where I come from. Being an African, I unfortunately face some, I would say, the stigma that most African countries are not only poor, but I've had to actually been in situations where I had to prove to people that we actually have roads and buildings and bridges in my country. So there's so much misinformation about what Africa represents. And I believe as an overseas student, sharing my culture by showing what makes Africa, Africa, and including sharing what's the beautiful side about Africa. It's not only about the safaris as what most people think, but also the people, the history, the towns and the cities that have actually come a long way to develop. Sharing all that, I feel like, is the best way to represent my country and my culture as an expert in a foreign country. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your well explained answer. Thank you.
Thank you, speaker number 8. Excellent question and answer. Now we are waiting for the audience. I think there's an audience, Minza Strauss. Hi, yes, you can go ahead.
Hello, Professor, and good afternoon to everyone. In South Africa, it's afternoon, so I'm saying good afternoon. And speaker number 8, thank you for that speech. I live in South Africa, so I can really relate with people thinking that there aren't buildings or roads or electricity. And so what I want to ask you is, what advice would you give to someone to help them to speak the truth and to change people's minds when it comes to discrimination and things that people believe before they actually know what the truth is?
Okay, thank you very much. So I feel like those are two questions. So one is the truth, one is how to change discrimination. Is that okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. So first of all, the truth. I do believe one reason why most people fail to speak the truth is that we are so scared of the repercussions of what we're going to say. We try to hide, to shield ourselves from what the truth entails. And I feel like that's wrong, because at the end of the day, we create this sense of false security that comes with lying. So I feel like the first thing that we need to do is that we need to appreciate the fact that whether we tell lies or tell the truth, what do we want to achieve? Do we want to achieve long-term happiness? If that's the case, then bite the bullet and be honest. However, if you want to achieve short-term happiness that needs to be changed every time and you need to be under pressure of always trying to lie, then speak lies. That's what I believe. Now, when it comes to discrimination, I would say that's a very tough thing to do. But the big one way that I've tried to look at it, being an expert, is that not everyone is willing to listen, and not everyone is willing to change. So whenever you interact and engage with people, when you get someone who's willing and ready to listen and to change, talk to them, let them understand, let them know what you're trying to say. However, whenever you meet a solid wall, just avoid it, because at the end of the day, it doesn't help trying to force it open. At the end of the you're just going to either create an enmity, and I don't think that's what you're trying to achieve at the end of the day. So understanding the different type of people and knowing how to address them.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, speaker number 8, and thank you, Minza, for a good question. Now I will go to the speaker number 9. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Please
Hi,
go
everyone. Good afternoon, because in my side it's afternoon, and I hope you're all doing well and enjoy from my speech. First of all, I would like to give my special thanks to Professor Dr. Liuji Wallace, the founder of Global UNITALKS and his organizing committee, their honorable juries, delegates, audience, and speakers. To be honest, it's an honor for me to be among the best speakers of UNITALKS and let the world hear my voice. And I believe we hold humans by creating bridge instead of walls between us, and by sharing our ideas instead of hiding them, we will be able to make some change in our life, in life of our friends, family, and we can make some change in our country. And by sharing our voice, we can bring a lot of change, and we can solve many problems to the world, to the entire world. You may ask how it will be possible. I would like to share my experience with you all, my experience in UNICEF of Afghanistan. Through my previous experience in UNICEF, I found we will be able to make some change just by let the world hear our voice. And it's easy for us to make some change. When me and my colleagues from UNICEF did a survey of appreciative inquiry tool about Kuwait and washing Kuwait, we found that there's a lot of poor people that they suffer and they don't have access to the food, education, clean water, and first aid. But nobody heard their voice. This is why a lot of them wasted, because they couldn't find help of the governments and they were aware from helps. But we, group of youth activists, started to create a survey, and we started to listen to them and shared their voice to the world, that there is a lot of people who suffer from COVID and they need urgent help. Fortunately, after a week, our group work resulted very big, and we resulted great. And we were able to help them just by sharing their voice with the authorities. In my opinion, as we have done a great job and shared their voice, we could bring some change in their life. And I believe by sharing our voice to the world, we can solve many problems and find useful solutions to many problems. If we all believe that we humans are all the same and we have the same abilities, and by sharing our voice, we can show the world that the only major factor that makes us different is our language and our geographical location. Since we all have the power of understanding, we can help each other and get to know others better by sharing our abilities and problems, but through our voice. Only we need to share our voice to the real people. And fortunately, I believe this young generation make this way easy and will help world to hear everyone's voice. We are goodwill ambassador of change, and together we can act stronger and make a big change in our entire world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, speaker number 9. Very good speech. Let me request Professor Amelia to give you a question on your topic.
Good evening, contestant number 9. How are you today?
Fine. What about you?
I'm very good. Thank you for asking. Very clever speech. Yeah, I love the fact that you're so involved, like you said, like with UNICEF.
Yeah.
Right. So if you had to go onto the world stage, we'll say at the UN, okay?
Okay.
How would you make the world sit up and listen to you?
As you know, UN now trying to make this real, and we are working hard to make some change in life of everyone. And I'm working with UNICEF, United Nations International Children Fund, and we are just trying to focus on make some change in life of every boy and every girl. And in my opinion, UNICEF is successful, and UN now is got succeed in this way.
Thank you for your answer. Good luck
You're
with
welcome.
everything that you do.
Thanks.
Great cause.
Thank you, speaker number 9. Thank you, Professor Amelia. Let me request Professor Quinn to give a question to you.
Contestant number 9, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good. Nice to hear that you work for the UNICEF and you're doing everything possible to enhance the youth and the voices to be heard. So I hope it will spread throughout the continents of this world.
I hope. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, so my question is this. What would you tell to the silent group, because they say silence is golden. There are people who do not speak, but they remain silent. Do you think silence is also a way of being heard?
No. In my opinion, by silence, we cannot get something. Just we have to be a little bit loudly, because we have to share our problems, and also we have to make some connection between humans. When you are in a silence mood, you will not able to make some change in your life, even you want to make some change in the world. At this cause, I think that we have to encourage the silence pupils, because they feel shy. They don't. They want to share their voice, but they can't because they feel shy. But we, a group of young generation, we can encourage them to make their voice real and to share their voice to the world and to make some change. Because when we are in silence mode, we cannot do something, and we will be in silence.
So are you disagreeing that silence is not gold?
Yeah,
golden.
Definitely.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Quinn. Thank you, speaker number 9. Now I will request upon Dr. Naushin to give you a question.
I'm really glad to see you that you are already involving with UNICEF. So
I'm pretty
you
much
so
sure
much.
that you have already involved with pandemic COVID-19. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty much sure that also you have taken part some activities for that. So can we explain something? What was your role on that? How will you contribute your voice for pandemic COVID-19?
Yeah. I'm a group. I'm a member of a group of adults and youth network of UNICEF, and we just by sharing, as I mentioned in my speech, we just by sharing their voice and just by letting know about the how they can avoid to got infected from COVID, and also it's just about COVID, and but we have a lot of activities like last year we had a futsal tournament in support of girls' education, and we are working in different subjects and to make empower women, girls, boys, everyone in different countries. Unfortunately, I think AYN Adults and Youth Network, we have agents in different countries, and our group mates are our colleagues working, trying to work harder and to make some change. And this is our goal, because we are a group of volunteer, and we just trying to make some change. Not and we don't ask money or something from them. Just we would like to help them and find the people who really need some helps, and trying to find how we can help them, like by projects or by something, by conferences, seminars, or something like this.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate your work, and I hope you are well and staying healthy and safe.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, speaker number 9. You are doing a very noble job. Thank you so much to be a part of Global UniTalks. I will now request the audience. There's one question. Oh, from Mora Joy. Okay, Mora, do you have a question? Go ahead.
Thank you very much. So, contestant number 9, I hope you are well.
Thank you so much. I hope same to you.
I am, thank you. So my question that I've posted is, what makes your voice unique? Because we have heard of so many people saying that they have a voice. So what makes yours stand out?
Yeah, that's a really great question, and I'm really interested to answer this question, because we have everyone share their voice, but some voice become unique because we are sharing the real things, the real history of the people. We are just sharing our voice is real, and we are just sharing the reality of our society, and just what happened in our society. We don't add something else, or we don't add something like real or something like. Just we are trying to share their voice without adding something. It made our voice unique. And I think it will be good for others to just sharing the reality of the society of their community.
Okay, so your authenticity and realness makes your voice unique.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, speaker number 9. Thank you, Mora, for your lovely question. Now we take a 10 minutes coffee break, and then we join back to listen to other speakers, and we will soon end our event. So let's take a break for 10 minutes and we'll join back. Thank you.
But that's not what I asked you. I asked you that you're saying the intent is what matters, and we should only punish things that have intent. No, so what? I agree with my opponent that
So it's drawing a value criterion of societal welfare. So basically, is this like what does this best for society look like?
Sorry?
So basically, we're just trying to benefit society, right?
I think that we should, since rights come into conflict all the time,
Sure.
we can never.
Not only do you have to be well versed in the evidence side of the debate, but you also have to have cards prepared for your philosophical side. And so it can be hours upon hours to be prepared for just a single tournament.
And even there you have all these rounds where you have sponsored events and you have your dance practices and something or the other is happening. You're having visits to different places in Las Vegas which you need to promote as the ambassador of the pageant. And if you can promote that, then of course you can promote their motto, which was to stop the war. So it
resonate alone. I am not arguing in favor of child labor, do not get me wrong, far from it. I am simply implying that all our efforts towards eradicate.
So I decided that I'll figure it out as I go along, and I tried to do all the right things. Like I started looking for work, I started auditioning, made sure I was on the radar.
And I considered it my duty to fight for their rights. I wanted to see them in school uniforms, holding books and pens in their hands.
Facebook's internet.org, for example, has given internet access to over 25 million people around the world who have been able to reap the many benefits that the internet provides. These people live in countries ranging from Kenya to Colombia, and the program is only in its first 2 years. Social media gives a voice to the people.
Ladies and gentlemen, we must responsibly consider what we will be debating over tonight. The climate crisis is something where the consequences are not local, they are global. It affects all of us, and particularly, as I hope to show you in the next few minutes, the developing nations themselves. When Shashi Tharoor came to address the Union, he stated that the
centrist parties, by doing things like scapegoating minorities, those centrist parties are forced to move to the right. Identities don't exist in a vacuum. They only gain meaning through expression and interaction with other beliefs. Hence, free speech is a fundamental right.
Now, finally, I'd like to extend my thanks to the entire debate community, both competitors and judges. A former debater once said to me that debate is like a part-time job, and I couldn't agree more with that statement. Every coach, every parent, every competitor, every judge has invested so much time in this activity, and I want to thank all of them for providing me with such a great experience and for being so energetic and so encouraging and dedicating so much activity that we all love and dedicate our time towards.
Measuring who best achieves the value and a constructive, who best explains how their side best meets the burden of the value criteria. Each debater has a chance to cross-examine the other after the case is initially presented. They also will have opportunities to rebut their opponent's points. Both sides have an equal amount of speaking, cross-examining, and preparation time, but the affirmative has the advantage of speaking first and last, while the negatives comes from longer speeches. The resolution for today's debate will be resolved. Predictive policing is unjust. Congratulations to both debaters on reaching this round today, and let the debate begin.
Second, that data is fraudulent and it negatively impacts minorities. Third, that police officers have heightened awareness when they go into prediction areas. And finally, that police officers hamper the reintegration of former offenders into society. This is going to be really big in today's round. Now let's move on to those overviews that she does give you. First, she tells you that, well, the rest of the criminal justice system will just solve for these issues.
Societal welfare. Societal welfare is the overall well-being of society through the lenses of health, safety, order, and economics. We created the United States to promote our well-being, and therefore we are due well-being. Government fulfills this obligation by protecting rights, but also by providing benefits to help its citizens. Universal basic income is a cash transfer of an equal amount to all individuals in a country, as defined by the International Monetary Fund. Henceforth, I will refer to it as a UBI. My first contention is that our current social safety net is better than a UBI at promoting societal welfare. There are 3 reasons for this. First, it's
Very cool. Like I see people from different cultures wearing their dresses, and everybody just having the spirit of culture, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'm really looking forward to this day. It's interesting seeing different cultures and people getting dressed up. It's fascinating to learn. Very diverse.
I feel very proud while walking like this. I feel very proud. I love my country.
And in the heat of the moment, my mouth starts going, the words start flowing. But I never meant to hurt you. I know it's time that I learn to treat the
그잖아 매일 뭐해 어디야 밥은 잘자 baby 자기 여보 보고 싶어 다 부질없어 You got me like 이건 아무 감정 없는 love story 그잖아 매일 뭐해 어디야 밥은 잘자 baby 자기 여보 보고 싶어 다 broken in half We should both know this You don't want to know it But we are Tripping over obstacles that we've created ourselves No, there's no turning back We are the things I've never done Search to find a love within I came back to let you know Got a thing for you And I can't let go
Good evening, everybody back.
Yes, we're back.
Okay, great. So now let's see your polling results. Speaker number 9, can you see your results?
Hi, Professor. No, I cannot see my results.
Oh, it's already on the screen.
I think I missed.
Okay, I will send you the screenshot later. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, let me now request the speaker number 10. Are you ready?
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Please go ahead.
Okay. Greetings to everyone, to our dear honorable international juries, our guest of honor, the founder of Global UNITALKS, and our worldwide audience. I would like to begin my speech with talking about how important it is for the people of next generation to be active, that they are the next inheritors of this world and their voices should be heard more than anyone else. It is because all the stories, history, culture, emotion, and thoughts, and especially collective consciousness that has continued to live until today will remain and reminisce with us on earth. And knowing that, we should act with a youthful enthusiasm. At the same time, we will start fresh. We will revive and enliven everywhere we come. And we will make the veins of humanity, art, and science flow more vigorously. It's all just like a reptile's skin change, or a phoenix's rebirth from its ashes. From another aspect, we have to acknowledge how big of a duty it is for the ones who can speak out to speak on behalf of people. Since they are not able to express themselves, their voices will interfere, will mix with ours, and we can make many people talk just by one voice. It's our voice. For me, every idea, thought, and emotion has the right to be expressed and upstand, and representation of them is a divine task, regardless of person. Moreover, if you look at it with a deeper approach, being the voice of people who are not able to make their voices heard, it is the responsibility of every individual who is the biggest fortune lottery winners of life. Who are they, you may ask? They are the ones who both born in a good place. However, being the voice of people or the next generation comes with a considerable size of responsibility. Climate change, pollution, extinction of species, plague politics, and many more modern-day obstacles are waiting to be solved. But I am someone who believes in Plato's idea of perfection, and I believe that it's sacred to work for achieving that perfection, for work the good of all. It's sacred because it makes the world more inhabitable, more livable, and less of a chaotic place. If I had the chance to make my voice heard throughout the globe, I wouldn't judge, discriminate, accuse, blame, or confront people with their mistakes, since it takes us nowhere. If I had the chance, I would accept philosophy and science as my guides, say whatever I say in their light, and do whatever I do at the same way. Furthermore, I would like to cry out on behalf of people who are suffering from terrible issues and don't have the chance to make their voices heard. War, starve, don't able to get education or even live a standard life. I think working for them is what will bring humanity its glory and beauty. Lastly, I would like to finish my words with one of my favorite quotes from Frank Borman, a US astronaut, that says, well, when you're up on the moon looking back at the earth, all these nationalistic traits and discrimination will pretty well going to blend, and you will get a concept that maybe this is really one world and we should learn how to live together just like decent people. A last reminder, the Sisyphus, rock roller king in mythology who is punished by gods, is I think one of the best metaphors for humanity. And I would like to say that don't stop rolling that rock. Although you know it will fall, although it falls, your labor in humanity's process will be immense and unforgettable. I hope you appreciated my speech, and I would like to especially thank everyone and some people to our dear juries for making their time and coming here, listening the next inheritors of this world. Professor Diana and Wallace, for really, they have taught me so many things in a very limited time, and I never have any such mentors, and all the people who comes today and listen. Thank you all.
Thank you, speaker number 10. You have done an excellent job. You are the youngest in our speakers, so congratulations to be here. Let me request Professor Amelia to give you a question.
All right.
Contestant number 10, how are you this evening?
I'm
Professor
pretty
Amelia,
well, actually.
He's the youngest speaker of today, just 16.
16, wow. I connected with it right from the start. You are going to go very, very far. I can actually see you up on the stage with Mura Joy up there, you know, taking a grand prize out one of these days. Very, very good.
Thank you, madam.
I hope that you will continue to be part of a lot of our competitions that we are running, because I would love to see, you know, where you can go from here.
I would be honored to be.
As I said, like, I connected with your speech right from the start. I thought it was really good. I loved your analogies. It was clear, concise. You got to the point. You also said in your speech that you would like to speak up for people with no voice. If you could advocate for, you know, some of these people less fortunate, who would these people be? Who would you like to speak up?
Yeah, I see. Actually, I won't choose any people specifically, but in world, every time, in every years, every century, some people has suffered, and I would like to be their voice, because I think no one deserves to be suffer for the others' happiness. It is in philosophy, it is an utilitarianist vision, and I don't like it. I don't agree with it. I think that everyone has the right to be happy, to be jubilant in their life. So I will be their voice instead of advocating something, a case that will bring humanity maybe more bad place for just my own sake. So that's it.
Thank you for your answer. Well done. Well done.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, speaker number 10. I will now request Professor Diana to give you a general question.
All right.
Hello. How are you?
Hello. I'm pretty fine, actually, just kind of nervous. How are you, madam?
I'm fine. Thank you for asking. You are doing excellent. Very well done. Quite
Thank you.
impressed with your speech. And since you are the youngest contestant, I have a question. As a high school student, if you are the president of the student council, which club would you like to open or carry on? You think is very important for you?
May I ask a question? Like, is that should be about the helping people, or just as a
anything,
hobby
any
of
club?
helping?
Which club you think is a very important as a president of the student council in your high school? You are the president of the student council, and which club you think you should give permission or you would like to open?
Yeah, I understood it. Well, I think theater, firstly, is one of the most influential arts, and I really love it. I am in the club too, so I just love performing and watching other people's perform. And the other, it's especially a hobby, like chess. I like playing it, and I think it gives mind a more sharp vision, and it makes us more and better decision makers. So that will be the two clubs that I would like to be participate, or just fun, but other clubs too. I would like to be part of everywhere, helping people.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Speaker number 10. Here I am getting a question from the audience, Tina Shams, and she asked you a question. What's your reaction when you see there are many people who don't help vulnerables?
Can you say it again. I don't think I understood.
Okay. Tina Shams, the audience, she raised a question to you. What's your reaction when you see there are many people who don't help vulnerables, who need help?
Oh, all right. For now, since I'm a high school student, I can't make many things for them. I can't help them, but I think helping is very variable. It depends on context. Like you can make many people informed around you and make their ideas a bit more helpful, a bit more optimistic about helping the others, because we as humans have to have the feeling of sympathy, because when you don't have it, if you are in the bad situation, what would you want to be in your life? What could you do? You're not able to get education, you are not able to live a proper life, and people are just seeing it and saying, oh, pity. But it's not all. You have to change something in the world. You have to help people. It's because we know that many universities of world is actually specified in areas. And I would like to say that maybe there is so many people with a gift from birth and they are not able to use it because they're born in a bad place, in a place where there is war, where there is starve, and they're not able to do such thing. I think helping them is one of the biggest sacred works in their life.
Very good. Good answer. Speaker number 10. I think the audience will be happy to listen the answer. Now I will call upon the speaker number 5. Are you ready? Hillary, the speaker number 5. Your internet has been the problem. I think I lost you again, I think. Let me check. Yeah, I think the internet issue, I lost him again. Okay. Now I wanted to request our audience how they felt about today event speaker of the month. Kindly raise your hand. I will open your microphone and you can express your feeling, what you felt today after listening to all these young, promising speakers. Yes, Nima Mwingi, can you speak now? The microphone is open. Yes, go ahead. Yes, can you? Yanima, can you hear me? Okay, I think I'm not audible. Okay, now I will call upon Professor Diana to give a vote of thanks before we end this event today, and Professor Amelia to give her experience with these speakers and how she wants to give them the tips to be a better speaker in our next events coming in November. Nima, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead.
First, I would like to give my thanks for getting a chance to be one of the audience of the event of the month speaker. And I think this is an experience and it has made me want to be one of the speakers for the next upcoming month. So I think this event is very nice because first, it builds our confidence as speakers, but it also helps us to think in different perspectives. I mean, listening to all those speeches have made me think of the topic in a different perspective, in different ways, how people have taken the topic in different ways and different approaches. it's so exciting to see that there are so many things and there are so many ideas that can come out of just a single sentence. So I think this event is very nice, and it is it is very useful for us youth, because first it brings us together to share our ideas, but also it builds our confidence and our public speaking skills. So I want to thank the UNITALKS team and everybody for this chance, for just being an audience. It has helped me very much, and I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nima. Thank you so much for your encouragement to the speakers and to us. Oh, we have another audience want to share something with us. Please go ahead. Go ahead, ma'am. Yes, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much for that kind of speech, and from all over the world. And that's very good to hear that new generation has that kind of ideas. Even I missed some of them, but I would like to add from Turkish, great Mevlana Celaleddin Rumi, and in his words, he said, come again, whoever you are, come, heaven, fire worshipper, or idolatrous, come even if you broke your penitence 100 times. Ours is the portal of hope, come as you are. So that's wonderful type of giving hands to people who suffered from anything, and that means also helping people, even if you are not in that good situation, because there are many people that can be in a harder situation. So, and the last words of me, I can say I'm also at hospital as an anesthesiologist, and having, struggle with COVID patients. And I would like to say that also please hope for and wish good things for our patients too. And I hope man will find a way to struggle with that corona and be safe. Take care. Thank you for inviting me to this beautiful speech. That's all I can say. Thank you.
So encouraging, so nice of you. You're doing a very noble profession, and we are very grateful to you. And I'm sure the whole society is grateful to you. So we are very glad that you came and share your ideas and your views with us. We get very encouraged, and actually all our youths here will get very much encouraged. Global UniTalks is a platform where we try to give the talents who are in places where they have no facility access because of the infrastructural challenges or because of some financial challenges. So we're trying to get them a platform, nurture them, train them, mentor them, and trying to give them a platform where they can speak out, create themselves as a leader, develop soft skills, and speak to the world. So you are doing exactly something to the society in a different way. So we actually have a same DNA. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we share the same feeling. Thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome. I didn't get your name. Can you introduce yourself and which part of the world you're from?
Yeah, I'm from Turkey and the Black Sea region, Rize, and since 6.5 years, I've been a specialist as an anesthesiologist and in the ICU, as I told you before, and I'm from Turkey.
Great, it's a beautiful country and a beautiful place. Thank you to join us and share your views. We are very grateful. Now I will call upon Professor Amelia to share her views on today's speakers and how she wants to give them a guidance to be a better speaker for the future events coming up.
Thank you, Professor Wallace. Excuse me. hello again, contestants, Professor Diana and Professor Quinn, and all our other international judges. Also, thank you to everyone who joined us live this evening. I think this is the first monthly competition that I have been directly involved with. And I have to say, you know, it's very difficult to judge. There is very, very little in it at all. It's going to come down to very, very minute scoring. With regards to some of your speeches this evening, some of them were absolutely excellent, really, really good. Moving forward with your next lot of speeches, I would encourage you to plan ahead with your speech, keep practicing. I think it's very important that you engage with your audience as well, that you are looking at them and you're not reading off a computer or a script or something like that. Think positive. Beware of your body language. And I think to record yourself while you are speaking, re-listen and re-watch a lot of your videos. There are a couple of grammar mistakes that I noticed this evening, as well as just one or two like big words that are mispronounced. If you're unsure of the pronunciation, please reach out to one of your professors, one of your teachers. I'm always here as well if anybody needs any help. But on the whole, I could not be more proud of each and every student this evening. I have to say, contestant 10 for 16 years of age, what a way to finish off the competition this evening. It was spectacular. I really feel that he's going to go a long way and would love to see him participate. So he was one of my standouts this evening, but again, everyone to me was an absolute rock star. I couldn't be more proud of you. Keep practicing, and I cannot wait until I see you all again in December. I'd like to thank also, while I'm here, the UNITALKS team, Professor Wallace, Professor Diana, and all of the videographers, the people behind the scenes that put all of these videos together, the graphic team. You know, without them, we wouldn't have these beautiful videos that we get to look at every time that we have a break, every time that we start a competition. I'd also like to take the opportunity to congratulate Joy on her win. I'm not sure if she's still here.
She's here.
Speak from all of us international judges. Joy, you are an absolute pleasure to listen to speak. The articulation that you have, and you are going to go very, very far. And congratulations again. I know every one of us are extremely, extremely proud of you. Oh, there you are. Well done. Well done.
Very good. Well done. Proud.
Very proud of yourself. I know all of us judges are. I'm sure your family, your friends, you have really, really done your country and UNITALKS really proud. And yeah, I know it's daytime still in some countries, so happy Halloween. You know, take care of all of, you know, those ghosts and ghouls that are out there, and stock up on candy.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful, Professor Amelia, for you guiding our speakers from the very beginning and helping and mentoring them. Actually, whatever you see, the graphics, the video, the website, the posters, everything is done by the students. The global UNITALK is by the student, for the student, and of the students. So anything and everything is all done by them. We just here like you to guide them, mentor them, and give them the direction. I think they have been doing wonderful until now. Now I will request Dr. Naushin to give her views of today's speaker and what she'd like to suggest for them to be more better in future in coming up events in November and December.
Again, good evening, Professor Wallace, my fellow judges and all contestants and the audience who are attending from various parts of the world. So I hope you all are well, staying safe and healthy in this pandemic condition. So first of all, I would like to thank you, Professor Wallace, for having me as one of the judges. I feel very privileged to be a part of UNITALKS. So for the contestants, it was very tough for me to give a judgment on your speech. Some of them were very close. And on today's topic, we have discussed about many things, and some of the important issues has been raised up, like mocking to others, raising voice against accent problem, any mocking, and we have talked about freedom of speech. That was quite a good thing, but I would like to suggest the contestants don't need to be panic. You just be relaxed. Speak up what your mind tells you. Speak up what your beautiful mind think and go with the flow. And for the next competition, I would like to tell you the best of luck, and I enjoyed today's competition, and all the best for the next time. Thank you so much, and thank you so much, Professor Wells.
Thank you, Dr. Naushin. Now I'll call upon Professor Diana to do a vote of thanks before we end the events today.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, Professor.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Professor Amelia, for your comments and encouraging words. Thank you very much. I really appreciate. Dear international juries, Professor Amelia, Professor Quinn, and all other international juries who have joined us this evening, founder of Global UNITALKS, worldwide Global UNITALKS family, speakers of today's audience, ladies and gentlemen, I sincerely like to thank all of you for being here today, giving your precious time by joining this prestigious Global UNITALKS Speaker of the Month online virtual event. Today is the beginning of this event journey, and we will continue to have Speakers of the Month every month throughout the year. I would like to thank sincerely all our international juries and want to say that without you, this event could not be possible. You are the heart and soul of the event. Thank you so much to support the youth of Silk Road countries. These global speakers who come from various corners of the world on this platform to showcase their English speaking talent and public speaking abilities witnesses that this world will have a great future. And I'm so happy all the speakers have put in their hard work and done excellent performance. I look forward seeing you soon to start a new journey and also preparations for international debate competition, which will be held on 27 December 2020. Please mark this in your calendar and do join us. Thank you and stay safe. And also do join us for the next month Speaker of the Month. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Diana, for your words and vote of thanks. The next month topic is power of love. It's a very interesting topic as well. As you know, Global UNITALKS have every month at the last week, it could be Saturday or Sunday, an event where we say Speaker of the Month event where we choose topic. Other than that, we have 3 international events, global competition on English speaking, debate, and talent and culture. So which means we have 8 speakers of the month and around 4 international competition in 12 months. So this is the engagement the students have with the Global UniTalks platform. And we welcome all of you. And I'm very thankful to all the presidents and the vice presidents of the countries and the universities who have been taking forward the initiative of Global UniTalks independently in their campuses. So from this month, I'm very glad to announce to everybody that most of the universities around the world, we have the vice president of a university, and they have a team of 4 to 5 members who are doing regular training and having their in the university English speaking contest, debate contest, and they're doing a lot of activities. And now they started to train the talents in the university level, and then they recommend us to come to the Global UniTalks platform. I think it's a wonderful thing, and it's something which is very encouraging. Maura, you're still here. For example, how you're doing as a vice president of USIUA, the activities and how you plan to do this, and what other universities are following. Can you share your views to us?
Okay, thank you very much. As I am the vice president of my school, my university, USIU that is, and what we are doing currently is we're trying to get the word out. We came up with ideas to formulate short videos to get people interested in what we are doing and explaining what exactly we're trying to do. And the response has been phenomenal. We have gotten students come from even outside our university who show interest in wanting to learn how to better their speaking skills. So as USIU team, we are coming together and bringing in everyone who is interested in public speaking and English speaking. And what we're trying to do is try to send topics for them to practice with that we can then assess after they've sent the scripts. We then go through the script and let them present and teach them on the key points on how to be better speakers. And we are hoping that at the end of it all, we will have individuals and students who are really passionate about what they do, and they're confident in how they speak. And when they do get the platform, they will do exceedingly well. So that's what we're doing right now. We're still coming up with more members for our committee, but so far so good. And I believe that other universities are also doing really well. Yes.
Thank you, Maura. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm very happy that you guys are now bringing UniTalks in the university from the country to individual university. I think this is a very good initiative. This will bring more outreach to the talents and to the outstanding students, and it will be ongoing events which you will continue in your university and once a month on our international global platform. So it works very well. Thank you so much. With this, I will like to announce the close of the event for today. I'm very grateful to all the international juries who have devoted their precious time. I know you have been busy with your daily life and your profession. After the hard work of the day, you are still here to help UniTalks, help these young talents, and I'm really very grateful to you for your passion for what you're doing for us. Wish you a happy evening or happy day wherever you come from, and see you next month. Till then, goodbye. Thank you, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. Bye-bye.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah, the attendees, if you have something to say, I can open your microphone because there are so many people still here. If you want to say something, you can open your microphone, or you just raise your hand. I will open your microphone. I think you were trying to reach for a long time. Aisun, David Tempa, Grace Nima, are you there? Okay, so I think we are running out of time. So we will have next opportunities to talk to you. Meanwhile, I'd say goodbye and good night. Thank you, everybody.